Ever wanted a teak deck without all the fuss of maintaining it? Today on Pleasure Boater, we'll be installing PlasDECK synthetic teak decking on Captain Ted's DeFever. Plus a visit from Mr. Chemist and a tour of a Doral Alegria. Pleasure Boater is dead ahead.
Hello once again and welcome aboard another edition of Pleasure Boater. This week we're coming to you once again from the Fort Loudon Yacht Club with another project that you're going to be very interested in. Hello everybody, I'm Captain Ted Jones, your host here on Pleasure Boater, and I want to introduce you to Bill Gribble, who is with PlasDECK. Now I'll explain to you in just a moment what PlasDECK is, but we have a special project that many of you may want to take on. Let me tell you, Bill, talk to me about PlasDECK. What is it?
PlasDECK is a synthetic teak decking product that is a flexible PVC. It's got the best UV stabilizer money can buy. It's automotive grade. It's got a non-migrating plasticizer, which means the oils in it are locked in. It's not going to migrate to the surface and allow it to come loose or dry out. So it's a very resilient, long-lasting plastic material that's going to be down on your boat for years.
So it looks like teak.
It looks like teak.
And let's show everybody an example of that. You brought some teak with you and some PlasDECK.
I brought a piece of the real teak here, and you can see that it's got the streaks in it of black, and it's a nice dark color. If we put it next to ours, you can see that we have actually put a streaking agent in it to give it that non-perfect look, to make it look like a piece of wood.
Now it's going to hold this color.
It's going to hold this color. When this stuff comes out of the extruder, it looks like this. It's smooth on the back, it's smooth on the front. And what we do is we run it through a wide belt sander with 40 grit sandpaper, and that's how we put the surface on it. Which means that if somebody damages it somehow, if you put a gouge in it, we have this rod of the same material that we can heat back into it, melt it down, slice it off, and then sand it up and make it disappear. If somebody puts a hole in it somehow with a screw and you want to fill that hole, we can put a piece of the rod down in there, heat it up, cut it off, sand it, and make it disappear. Try that with a piece of wood.
Right, and it doesn't change color, and I'll prove that to you. A few years ago, we had Bill make up a special swim platform for Colonel Mike Sullivan's boat. Take a look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's held up very well. You also make steps, right, if they want.
Yep, that's the plastique material, and that is a recycled plastic lumber that we're using for the marine industry. It looks like wood, and there's no maintenance to it.
And we're recycling here.
We're recycling.
So that's very green and very politically correct thing to do nowadays. Absolutely. Now, PlasDECK, you can get either the black or the white stripe. Is that right?
Right. This is just showing that we've got a black line, which is your traditional caulk line, or you see a lot of the white nowadays because it just gives it a little more modern look, and all your boats are in the white or off-white color. We've got 3 different ways of doing it. One is you can buy it like we're going to do today as a do-it-yourself product and put it down that way. Another way is you can send us a pattern and we'll fabricate it all as one welded mat like this. So it comes as one big mat, and then you just spread out the, position it, spread out the glue, and then start gluing it down.
So like the people do the carpet. I know for years the carpet, you make a pattern, send it in to them, and they'll send you back boat carpet all corded up and everything. So now you can do the same thing with PlasDECK. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And the third option is we've got installers all around the country that will come to your boat and do everything.
And that's what we're going to do for the next 30 minutes here on Pleasure Boater. We're going to show you how to install it, not like a carpet, but a piece at a time coming up. One other thing I want to point out to you, you have some that go inside the boat too.
Right. Well, you've got a vinyl flooring product that goes inside the boat that looks like teak and holly, and I've got it in a traditional teak and holly or a wild cherry color. And if you go on our website, you can take a look at those pictures of that on there.
The biggest advantage, folks, this is maintenance free. You just wash it like you would the deck of your boat. No more teak oil and all that messy stuff.
It's very impervious to pretty much everything. You want to be careful of your petroleum products, your oils and gases will stain it. If you catch it right away, you just throw some dish soap on it and wash it off, and it'll wash right off.
Now, we use Mother's boat polish. Mother's boat wash, excuse me, on it right here. All right, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get into it and show you. This is really not that hard to install. Stay tuned. Welcome back aboard Pleasure Boaters. We continue our PlasDECK project on this 57 DeFever here at the Fort Loudon Yacht Club. I'm joined by Bill Gribble. And Bill, we need some special tools to put this down.
Right. Mostly we're going to use a razor blade that's got a little curve to it. They're a little hard to find, so we have them for you. Your razor, a roller, just a Formica roller, a trowel for spreading the glue on the floor, a caulk gun that we use for our glue, which comes in a sausage, and then this is what they call a sure form for cutting some edges or just shaping the edges, a cutter like this for some of the smaller pieces. The material comes in both a 2-inch wide roll or like this back here, a 6-inch wide roll, and all the rolls are 32 feet long. So if you're doing a big curved area, you're going to use the single to get it to curve. If you're running like a straight areas like we're doing today, we're going to use the 6-inch wide.
And we'll show you that today. As a matter of fact, how you do all of that. What's the first thing we need to do?
Well, first thing we're going to do is prep the boat, get it ready, get it all washed down with some denatured alcohol, get it nice and clean. We're going to dry fit everything first so that we get it even. If we got a half a plank on that side, we want a half a plank on this side. We want it nice and balanced. So we're going to lay it all out dry before we start gluing. And once we get it all dry fit, then we start gluing one piece at a time and work our way across.
All right, let's get started. Taking several different measurements here. Why so many?
Well, we're wanting to find the center of the boat because what we want to do is we're going to run a 6-inch wide blank piece right down the center, and that'll determine where everything is going to fall either side. And we're trying to, if we get this right, then everything should fall right.
Okay, Bill, now you've gotten some string out and you're kind of running it down alongside our first piece that you dry fitted. What's the purpose of that?
Well, we're just trying to get the first one straight, and this is the hardest part. Once you get the straight, once you start straight, you'll continue making it straight, and once you start wrong, it'll just keep getting worse. And we don't have to get it all that snug too, because we're going to put a bead of caulk around all of this when we're done. So we can get it close and then fill it in with a little caulk and it'll be fine.
All right, Bill, we're going to use one of the other tools you showed us here earlier in the show.
This is a sure form. We call it the cheese grater, and it's one of my favorite tools. It just kind of really gets in here, smooths out these areas. I just needed a little bit off of this area here, and it's just a little easier just to come in here, a couple of swipes with this thing, and it'll pull it right back. So it just
if it were actual teak, we'd have to use a wood file.
Oh yeah.
All right, Bill, we're putting one single strip down now, going down the side deck here. Why one strip?
Well, we're coming across this curved area now, and I don't want to waste a whole bunch of material right there, so I'm going to put this single piece in here to kind of bring us back out even again, so we can start using the 6-inch wide again. You see, we've got the single in here, we've got the 6-inch here, and the 6-inch here. You can see how much we wasted on this one, and this one we had quite a bit back there, and now we're going to take this single here, instead of cutting this big curve into it, the 6-inch, we're going to put this single in there and save a lot of material that way.
All right, Bill, we've got the side deck pretty well filled in over here on this side of the boat now. And are you doing something with a roll of tape there?
Well, I'm just kind of using it as a pattern to get the circle for the fills over here, because I want to cut these out. I'm going to make them a little bit small, and then we'll cut it out and get to the shape that we want it to be. But this is just kind of giving me a guide here.
Welcome back aboard Pleasure Boater. Well, as you can see, everything's been rough cut right now with our PlasDECK. It's time to begin gluing, and we start in the middle, Bill?
Yeah, we're going to start in the middle here. We put some pencil lines on here to give us some guidance as to where we want to start our first spot. We're going to wipe this down again with some denatured alcohol, and we're going to clean the back of this, because it's real important to get everything as clean as possible on this so it sticks real good. What we're going to do is we're going to trowel it out with a real thin notch trowel. We've got a 32nd by 32nd notch or a 16th by a 16th notch. Because we don't have a very aggressive non-skid here, we're going to go with the smaller one, the 32nd by 32nd. And we've got a little dip in this here, so we're going to try and fill that in with some glue and then come back and go over top of that and then drop this first piece in and then roll over top of it.
Now this glue gun you're using is available. You can sell them this gun if they want to install themselves.
Right, we've got these guns. This is an electric one. It might be a little more than what the do-it-yourselfer wants. We also have just a standard one that you do by hand.
Works like a caulking gun.
Yeah, it works like a caulking gun. I want to try and tap this edge down into it because I like to get it nice and I like to get the edge wet. So when I put it up in there, it goes okay. The layers down. Yep. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to just pull these few boards all the way back, just about 6 or 7 feet back here. That way we're going to spread all this here, come back, drop these down into it, get them going, and then we're going to come back here, pull this all the way back the other way, and just kind of work it this way because 2 people can't get in here to do a plank at a time. So you're going to do 1/2 from the front and then come back. Or actually, we're going to cut it probably into thirds. We're going to do the first third up here. We'll pull this all back, do the next third, and then do the last third, and just kind of keep working our way back till we get it all done.
After we get that trim finally glued down, look at the finished product. You would swear it's real teak, but it's not. Just as beautiful, but all I gotta do is soap and water, wash it off. Really simple, huh? That brings to a close another edition of Pleasure Boater. Bill, thank you very much for another great install job. If you want more information, go to PlasDECK.com or PleasureBoaterTV.com for complete contact information on any product featured here on Pleasure Boater TV. Hey, they've got a new product that goes inside the boat now, teak and holly. You want to know more? Go to PlasDECK.com. I'm Captain Ted. So long, everyone.